Hi students, fine good morning to everyone. Yesterday we have learnt about the circle and the tangent and secant, the relation between tangent and secant, the difference between tangent and secant, okay, and how a circle and a straight line can be represented in three different ways, and all we have seen. And today we will learn the some more concepts about the tangent, secant, radius, how they are internally related with respect to circles. Okay, let us start the session. Okay children, today in this session we will learn some more important concepts related to circle. Okay, the question is, to a circle how many tangents can be drawn? Okay, we know that circle is made by infinitely many number of points, and yesterday we have learned that through a point there passes one and only one tangent. Okay, therefore students, we can say that since the circle has infinitely many number of points on it, from every point there passes an unique tangent. Therefore, we can say we can draw infinitely many tangents to a circle. Okay, let us take the point P. Through this point P, there passes only one tangent. And let us take point Q. It is other than point P. And through this point Q, there passes one more tangent, but it is unique. Let us take the points R and S. Through point R also there passes an unique tangent, and through point S also there passes an unique tangent. Okay. So children, we can say that since there are infinitely many points on a circle, we can draw infinitely many tangents on a circle. Is it clear? Now, let us go to another important concept. Now, let us learn about one more beautiful and important concept, that is number of tangents from a point to a circle. Okay, what do we mean by this? We are going to learn, if a point is given, from that point how many tangents can be drawn to the circle. Okay, if a point is given and a circle is given, from the given point how many tangents we can draw, that we are going to study now. Okay, here it depends upon the position of the point, whether the point is inside the circle or whether the given point is exactly on the circumference of the circle or whether the point is outside the circle. If the point is outside the circle, we call it as external point. Okay, from these points how many tangents can be drawn and how are they drawn are going to be discussed now. Okay, the number of tangents we draw to a circle from a given point depends upon the position of the point. Okay, now let us consider a case 1 where the given point P is inside the circle. Okay, from this point which is inside the circle, can we draw a tangent? No, it is not possible. Now let us consider the point P inside the circle, and if I draw it, goes and intersects the circle here, right? And if it goes outside, then also it does not become the tangent. Look at the point Q. From the point Q, if we draw a tangent, it cannot become tangent. If the point given is inside the circle, from the point if I draw a straight line, then this straight line does not become tangent. So what we can decide is, from a point inside the circle, no tangent can be drawn to a circle. Okay, I had taken 2 points, a point P and point Q. From point P, I drew a straight line, it didn't become tangent. From Q, I drew a straight line, it did not become tangent. So we can decide, if the point is inside the circle, no tangent can be drawn to the circle. Okay. Now let us consider the second case. Okay. This is the circle, and let the point taken be exactly on the circumference of the circle. Okay. So through this point taken on the circumference of the circle, I can draw a tangent AB, right? And through the same point P, if I draw one more straight line, it does not become tangent. It becomes secant, because it not only passes through P, it passes through R also, and it intersects the circle at 2 points. Therefore, EF is not a tangent, it is a secant, whereas AB is a tangent. Similarly, if I draw a straight line CD, right, that passes through P, but that also passes through Q. Therefore, CD is not a tangent, it is a secant. So children, we can say, if the point is exactly on the circumference of the circle, there passes one and only tangent. Okay. So there is one and only one tangent to a circle passing through a point lying exactly on the circle. Is it clear? And this AB is the only tangent. The other straight lines are secants. Let us discuss one more very important case. Okay. What happens if the point taken is outside the circle? From the point outside the circle, how many tangents can be drawn? Okay. See here. This is the circle with center O, right? And let the point be outside the circle. And I call this point P as external point, which is outside the circle. From the point outside the circle, how many tangents can be drawn to the given circle? See here. I can draw a tangent PA and a tangent PB to the given circle from the point given, which is outside the circle. So P is an external point given here, and from this external point, how many tangents can be drawn? 2 tangents can be drawn. Okay, the tangents are PA and PB. More than 2 tangents, we cannot draw any other tangents to the circle from a point given outside the circle. So we can decide, exactly 2 tangents can be drawn to a circle from a point lying outside the circle. It is very important. Okay. If a point P is outside the circle, we can draw exactly 2 tangents from this point. And one more interesting thing is that here the tangents drawn to a circle from the external point P, they are equal in length. That is, the tangent PA and PB are equal in length. Okay. From case 3, we can decide that from the external point P, we can draw exactly 2 tangents, not more than 2. Okay, exactly 2 tangents, and these tangents are equal in length. If we measure the length of PA and length of PB, these are always equal. Please remember these 2 facts about the tangent drawn from the external point to a circle, which will help us to prove further results in future. Okay. So here children, here P is external point, and this is the circle with center O, and PA and PB are 2 tangents, and PA length is equal to PB length. Is it clear? Okay. One more very important fact. related to the tangent, radius and circle. Okay. Here, let us see this. The tangent at any point of a circle is perpendicular to the radius through the point of contact and vice versa. Let us understand this statement. We find that the AB tangent is perpendicular to the radius OD, or radius OD is always perpendicular to the tangent AB. So children, here we see that angle ADO is equal to 90 degree and AB is equal to T. T means tangent and OD is equal to R. R is radius. Okay. And D is equal to point of contact. So AB is perpendicular to OD. That is, AB means tangent. Therefore, tangent is perpendicular to radius, or radius is perpendicular to tangent. And similarly, see here, YX is perpendicular to OZ, right? YX is a tangent. Therefore, tangent is perpendicular to radius R, because OZ is radius. This implies tangent is perpendicular to radius, or radius is perpendicular to tangent. And angle OZY is equal to 90 degree and Z is the point of contact. So children, if you draw a tangent and if you join the point of contact and the center, then we always find that this radius is perpendicular to tangent and this tangent is perpendicular to radius. Okay. Now you see one more note. The tangents drawn at the end of a diameter of a circle are parallel to each other. Okay. It can be a theorem. I can prove it later. But let us understand this statement. Here this is a circle with center O and PQ is the diameter. Okay. The diameter has two ends, P and Q. At the end P, I will draw a tangent AB. At the end Q of the diameter, I will draw one more tangent CD. But you should remember that AB tangent is parallel to CD. Therefore, what we can decide is the tangents drawn at the endpoints of a diameter. Here PQ is a diameter and P and Q are ends of a diameter. Okay. At the end P, you draw a tangent. At the end Q, you draw a tangent, and both the tangents will be always parallel. Okay. So children, here PQ is diameter, AB is tangent at P and CD is tangent at Q, and AB is parallel to CD. Okay. You know that diameter is nothing but 2 times of radius. Okay. Just now we have learnt that radius is perpendicular to AB. Therefore, here OP is perpendicular to AB means it is even QP is perpendicular to AB. So, this angle is 90 degree. And secondly, see here that OQ is perpendicular to CD. Here OQ is radius. Therefore, this radius is perpendicular to CD at the point Q. So, angle CQO is 90 degree, right? And it also implies angle CQP is also 90 degree. Therefore, children, AB and CD are two straight lines, and now this PQ has become a transversal. Okay? If PQ is transversal and it is intersecting the straight lines AB and CD, okay? And this angle and this angle are the interior angles on the same side of the transversal. If the interior angles on the same side of the transversal are 180 degree, then AB and CD must be parallel. Okay? Because we have learned the relationship between two straight lines and a transversal. Okay? If a transversal intersects two straight lines such that the sum of the interior angles on the same side of the transversal is supplementary, then this AB and CD will be parallel. Okay? Here APQ is interior angle, and similarly CQP is an interior angle. Both are on the same side of the transversal. And if we add this plus this, you will see that 90 plus 90 is equal to 180. Both are supplementary. That is why we can decide that AB is parallel to CD. Okay. With respect to the straight lines AB and CD, PQ becomes transversal. But with respect to circle, the straight line PQ becomes diameter. Okay. Hence we can decide PQ is the diameter and P and Q are the endpoints, and the tangents drawn to the circle at the endpoints of the diameter PQ are AB and CD, and these tangents are parallel. Okay. This is also one more very important and interesting property, and you can take it as an activity today. That is, draw a circle with center O, right? Take an external point T, right? From the point T, you draw a tangent TP to the given circle, right? After that, you join OP. You find that this radius is perpendicular to this tangent PT, okay? PT is a tangent, OP is the radius, and this radius is perpendicular to the tangent PT. I call it as T, right? And after that, if you measure the angle OPT, it is 90 degree, right? And you measure angle PTQ, this angle PTQ, okay? And you write its magnitude. Then you join the point P and Q, thus the PQ becomes chord, right? Here you measure the angle OPQ and compare the value of the angle OPQ with angle PTQ. Okay, you will find that the value of angle PTQ is double the angle of OPQ. It always happens. Okay, if angle PTQ is 50 degree, then that is equal to 2 times of OPQ. Then OPQ will be 25 degree, right? If angle PTQ is 100 degree, then angle OPQ is 50 degree, right? If angle PTQ is 110 degree, then angle OPQ is 55 degree. So I can write angle PTQ is always equal to 2 times of OPQ, or 2 times of OPQ is equal to 1 times of angle PTQ. If this into 2 is brought this side, it becomes angle OPQ is equal to angle PTQ upon 2, or angle OPQ is equal to half of angle PTQ. Today you take it as an activity and do it. Okay. Now children, see here, I have drawn 2 concentric circles. Okay. The circle C1 with larger radius, but the center O, and the circle C2 with smaller radius but with the same center. Therefore, circle C1 and C2 have same center, but their radii are different. The radius of circle C2 is small and the circle C1 is larger, right? But both the circles have same center. Okay. Draw 2 concentric circles C1 and C2 with the center O, and what we should do is draw a chord AB such that the AB line segment should be a chord to the larger circle, and the same AB chord should be a tangent to the smaller circle, means inner circle. That time, if you join the center O to the point of contact of the chord AB or the tangent AB to the smaller circle, then at P, okay, you see that the radius OP bisects the chord AB. Okay, here in 2 concentric circles, the chord of the larger circle which touches the smaller circle is bisected at the point of contact. Okay, here C1 and C2 are 2 concentric circles, and the chord of the larger circle is AB, which touches the smaller circle, means this chord touches the smaller circle at P. then this AB is chord for larger circle or outer circle, and this AB is tangent for the inner circle or smaller circle, and is bisected at the point of contact. Here P is the point of contact, and at this point of contact the chord AB is bisected, means AP length and PB length are always equal. So children, we can decide that in two concentric circles, the chord of the larger circle which touches the smaller circle is bisected at the point of contact. Therefore, AP is equal to PB here, and P must be the midpoint of AB. Okay. Okay, at last let us do one more activity. Draw a circle with center O and draw a chord AB, right? To the chord AB, you draw a perpendicular from the center, okay? Then this perpendicular bisects the chord, okay? That is, to the chord AB, you draw a perpendicular OD, right? This perpendicular OD drawn from the center, okay, bisects the chord AB, that is AD is equal to DB. In such a way, this OD perpendicular bisects the chord AB. So, the perpendicular OD drawn to the chord AB from the center of the circle O bisects the chord. Here, angle ODA is 90 degree, and this D becomes the midpoint of AB, and AD length is equal to DB length. Okay. So children, today we learned many more important things related to the circle and tangents. Okay. The rest of the things we will see tomorrow. Till then, goodbye.